Okay, before we get started, I truly just want to take a minute to appreciate the weather, the change. My AC is off for the first time in months. My windows are open. Fresh air is coming in, and my energy bill will start to go down. So this is just that really blissful time of year for myself. I just decided to celebrate, okay? Fear of God Essentials knit hoodie and my harvest pan ship, so they are on the way. And hopefully you take the time to check out my brand new social status Nike Dunk Mid chocolate milk review, personal story of myself being on free lunch and how to style that amazingly executed shoe. But today we're going to talk about a topic that came up within Soul Food. Again, that is the very first ever Twitter community for sneakers on Twitter, so you can always request an invite. All you have to do is click on the link below in the description box for my Twitter profile _talks with TJ. But a really great question was posed, and I kind of want to expound on that and discuss it with you. Again, we're getting into these discussion videos a little bit more, and you guys seem to appreciate them, and I really appreciate that. In the current landscape today for sneakers, is the Grail becoming inaccessible based on resale and more? Now, I say yes, but I also say no. And I say no because you may be able to attain it, but at what cost?
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see. Yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video. Talks with TJ, aka TJ2 Swoosh T Yeezy MA2 TJ. Oh, also before we dive in, little side note. The Yeezy knit Rnnr dropped, like that news dropped on us that it will release, I think technically today when you're viewing this, which is the 23rd. I'll go on record and say, because I know someone will ask, hey, what do you think about that? 1,000,000 times better than the actual foam runner. I didn't like the dino aesthetic. I've said that before. I never knocked that it was comfortable. I never knocked that it had all of the comfort of any other Yeezy that probably has Boost within it. The slides are comfortable. I've said that time and time again. I just couldn't get with the aesthetic of the actual foam runner. Now the knit design, great. I love it. Sulfur as a very first color, the debut color. Love it, like it. So that is something I am interested in owning and trying out. And I know that Kick It With Didi already said there will be more colorways for the Yeezy knit Rnnr. So if I'm able to get my hands on that, I'll absolutely give you my thoughts and a review and much more. But I just had to go on record saying the Yeezy knit Rnnr, I'm a fan of. Like the profile, when you look top down, really gives me like a 350 V2 vibe. I just didn't like the actual dino design of the foam runner. All right, now that that's out of the way, is a Grail now inaccessible to the average consumer? And when I say average consumer, just understand this, like we still are talking within the realm of sneakers, but financially we're sometimes maybe just not, because when you have a passion or you have an obsession and it's like your little niche thing, we already act outside of like normal behavior, right? Like, get this in your head. It's not normal to buy 4 sneakers in a month. That's what a lot of us do though. That's not normal. It's not even normal to buy like 2 sneakers in a month. So we know that we are like weird anomalies already when it comes to consumer behavior. So we'll own that, and now we'll put us in our own little controlled group. So we may buy anywhere from 2 to 4 sneakers a month. You wouldn't think that with the way all of you complain about sneakers app L's, even though you know what's coming. Like the insanity to keep expecting something different, I don't know, but you're subjecting yourself to that now, having these expectations. Go in with no expectations, that's all I'm gonna say there. But we're a little bit weird that way, okay? Which is fine. I'll say this, if we are buying 2 to 4 pairs of sneakers a month, it means you have disposable income, right? Like beyond your needs, you have money to play around with. Unless you're using money you actually need for bills and your livelihood to buy sneakers, get your life, because that is not the move whatsoever, okay? And if you have kids, you have additional responsibilities. You can't just think about the right now of putting food on the table for your kid. You have to think about later on. You have to think about, do you want your kid to go to college? Hopefully you don't want to go in debt for that. So I hope you have a 529 plan or a college savings already started. If not, please do that. That's not a concern that I have to, worry about. So a lot comes into play in terms of having the money to buy these sneakers. Okay, so we're gonna assume we have disposable income. Is a Grail inaccessible now with the, you know, insanity of the resale market? I'm gonna say yes, and I'll say no. Okay, and let's expound on that. Yes, I do believe that for a lot of individuals now, their Grails are moving to inaccessible because they are moving up north of, let's say, $2,000, $3,000 for some pairs, or way more, depending on what the specific sneaker, brand, and colorway, and your size, more importantly, may be. Now that we've touched, you know, how much it's kind of gone up to, I say it's inaccessible because the average consumer actually doesn't have the money to just drop $2,000, $3,000 at once on something that is truly just meant for entertainment and enjoyment, right? Why do I say that? Well, if we look at financial, I would say personal financial situations, even prior to what happened in 2019, 2020, I'm not going to say the words, we're on YouTube. If you look prior to that, you know, there was like 30% of Americans that had $0 in savings. Another 30% had less than $1,000 in savings, and a greater percentage could not handle a $1,000 emergency. So keep that in mind. If the average we're looking at, that's a pretty decent amount of people that are falling into the realm of if $1,000 emergency just hit their doorstep, they couldn't take care of it in cash. They would have to possibly put it on a credit card with high interest rates, which means it's going to just put them further behind the 8 ball in being financially stable and secure. Then no, a Grail that is reached north of $2,000 is not accessible for them. It's just not. And with so many people probably affected by the way things have changed in the economy, I would argue that hits home even more for a lot of people. And even in sneakers, you just may not know it because they may not voice that. Now, again, people may still have the wherewithal to pick up pairs here and there. We'll still see them picking up a shoe here, a shoe there, if they're able to get their hands on it. But dropping that, I don't know, $150 or $200 a month on a shoe, that's much more reasonable for them than dropping like 2 racks for a Grail that has shot up that high. So in that context, I truly believe it may be inaccessible because, again, if you're a parent, you have regular expenses, you're thinking about your kids, so you're trying to also provide for them. You may not have that to drop to be able to secure that Grail while also buying other things, okay? Here's the kicker though. No, I also don't think it's fully inaccessible. And that comes down to a harsh truth of what's a priority for you. There's an opportunity cost for every single thing. So if you're already somebody buying shoes every single month, that's say, I don't know, $200, you have the ability to buy that Grail. If it's, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000, you have that ability. You just have to sacrifice every other shoe that year that comes out to be able to get the Grail. You do. Like, we can audit your spending to see if you really have it. Let's just say the Grail is $1,000, okay? So over the course of a year, you could have a sinking fund. You could choose to put, I don't know, close to $80 away a month towards that $1,000 Grail. If you spend $20 a week on eating out, bingo, you have the money if you really want that shoe. Stop eating out for a year. Put that $20 every single week into a jar and pay for the Grail that you want. That's probably $1,000. Let's say it's north of $2,000, north of $3,000, whatever the amount, divide it by 12 and see what the monthly amount would be for you to have to save that to put towards your Grail. If that number is within that range that you spend on brand new releases every single month, ding, 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 you have the money. You just have to make that hard choice. Are you willing to sacrifice brand new releases for this Grail that is everything to you? I think what people come to realize, that Grail doesn't become as much of a need as you think it is. When you have to sacrifice the right now for the much later on, like that delayed gratification, when you have to sacrifice all of these releases right now to get that Grail, you're just like, no, it's not that much of a need. Or we say it's outside of my possibilities to get. I just could never afford that. No, there's a lot of things that we can't afford. They just take an ungodly long amount of time, and we are very impatient beings. That's what it is. So I fall on both sides of the spectrum. Yes, I think it has become inaccessible just because the resale prices for a lot of shoes we really want has gone sky high. People have a lot of other things on their plate. They're trying to make sure that savings are good. They're trying to invest for their future. They're trying to take care of their kids. They're trying to get things for their kids possibly every month while also treating themselves every month. Totally respect that. So you have to weigh the option. Can I still put money aside every month towards a Grail while also buying current releases? Or do I totally audit how I spend my money, realize if the Grail is that important, stop spending money every month on things that I say aren't as important, and put that towards a Grail? It may take you a year, it may take you 2 years to get that shoe. Nonetheless, a lot of things are accessible. They just come at a very hefty cost that most of us probably don't want to pay. All right, so go ahead and sound off below in the comments. You know, I love to get back with you. If you enjoyed this video, especially a lot of the talking head videos, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I truly appreciate it. You guys already know I'm kind of doing that, right? Delayed gratification. Now, it's not a Grail that I'm putting, you know, that I intend to have you guys help me buy. It's not a Grail, but $65 every month has been put aside towards a sneaker, and I'm staying diligent with that. Now, again, this may be $700 that's spent on a sneaker, not necessarily a Grail price that I discussed in the video, but I'm able, it's based on my personal financial situation, I'm able to still put aside $65 a month without sacrificing eating out or buying other shoes. That's because I have to pull back some areas and put money towards other things. All right. Your situation is going to be your situation. All right. Thank you again so much for tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace out.